It's the NFL on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the NFC East. It's the reigning NFC champs and the football team, and it's coming up next.
And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And they will be led out by a young man, probably with some butterflies here. A lot of anticipation, making his first NFL start. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. Touchdown, Washington! Leonard Fournette, 73 yards. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. From the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Throwing on 1st down is Lance. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. This will be caught. It's Waddle. Touchdown, Giants. Jalen Waddle, 75 yards. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Lutz good on the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. To return it, Darius Phillips. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Now Lance. Touchdown! That's caught. Evan Ingram from 4 yards out. And the Giants have taken the lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the... And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Another completion there, and you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the first round, getting the start here, as we mentioned, in week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the first...
And he coughed it up, and the Giants have it. It's picked up. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. On the return, Phillips. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Giants have it. It's picked up, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Giants are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Washington offense set to take over again. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Back to throw now on first down. Slant pass to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week one. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having...
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave. Embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big play that time on the catch and run. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receiver?
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Leonard Fournette, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And Washington able to close the gap just a bit. Elliott good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week one. Do you like that they are matched? And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Giants. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. On the return, Phillips. And able to get this out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he gets us to the other side of midfield, across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's a give to Fournette. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 31-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Fournette a first down carry, but he'll get only a couple before defenders are there to meet him.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that'll bring up 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Waddle will return this from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. And they'll go for it. Lance. Looking long for Thomas. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. And a really unbelievable play there on 4th and long. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Michael Thomas. 44 yards. And the Giants are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Lutz with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. On the return, Phillips. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
That ball caught by Slayton. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now back to throw. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. This is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Demarcus Robinson as the first half is winding down. And Washington able to cut into that deficit. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll cut this to a 17-point spread. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in Week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. On first down, Lance. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they're going to speed things up here. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. Working with 2nd and 5 now. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
On play action, Lance. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Khalil Mack never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. Touchdown! Tyler Boyd, 28 yards. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for Washington.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
That 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this.
Let's go, baby.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Lance now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Lance. Flushed out right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Alvin Kamara there to make the grab. And the Giants add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. On the return, Phillips. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this is going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Giants will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. Looking long for Thomas. And incomplete on the deep ball.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
He's going to let it go again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. He's got a man, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big connection on that one, 39 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. A nice little juke. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Giants are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So that a nice throw, but it hasn't really turned out to be the grand debut that many had hoped for. His team's down double digits. So what have you seen, CD?
About what I expected, really, because for a youngster making his first start in the NFL, I kind of expected to see these things. A few bumps along the way, maybe not the plays you expect to see or want to see. But remember, he's not going to the Hall of Fame off this first start. It's going to be an accumulation of games before we have a fully accurate reading.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Hendrickson Just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Shakes off the sack. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. It got his man complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. On the draw, this is Fournette. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. They'll swing this out to Fournette. Touchdown, Washington. Leonard Fournette with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And Washington able to close the gap just a bit. They'll look to throw. It's complete. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Lance now on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up. And Kamara has it stripped. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you take the ball. with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Trey Hendrickson picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a pass hauled in downfield, and way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Back to throw now on first down. And oh, he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. Know your job. Check 3, check 3, check 3. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Hey, check mega.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. He juked him. And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Washington, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.